welcome to Gardening Through the Seasons. I'm Lelia Kelly, Consumer Horticulture Specialist with the Mississippi State University Extension Service. In late winter and early spring, in garden centers like this, they're receiving their new plant material. And when you come in and want to do some shopping and pick out that really good container plant to take home and put in your yard, how do you decide with so many choices and so many types? Well, obviously the first thing you do is to check out the label. The information you're looking for is things like the plant hardiness zone, the mature height and spread of the plant, and other requirements like sun, whether it wants shade, and the type of watering that is required. Also, is it an evergreen or is it deciduous? Obviously, if you're shopping during the dormant season, that's easy, as the plant will not have on any leaves if it's deciduous. Then you might want to read further if the label is really descriptive and read about the attractive features like flowers, fall color, or other attractive features. And once you settle on what type of plant you want, then how do you determine that that is the best choice or the one that you want to take home? Once you settle on this plant after reading the description on the tag, then how do you decide if this particular plant, this particular one, is the one that you want to take home? If the plant shows discolorations of the leaves or spots, you want to put that one back. Also, turn some of the leaves over and look at the bottom underside. Then you may see some indication of some insect damage. Next thing, what you want to do is examine the stems and to see if there's any types of insect or damage or mechanical damage, maybe due to rough handling in the nursery. Pass that up. This obviously is not a good choice, so we're going to put this plant back. If it's a deciduous plant, how do you even know that it's alive? Well, you examine the stems and the buds. You know, these right here, they look plump, and then you very gently see if you can bend those stems, and if you can without breaking, this plant's alive. Now let's look at this plant right here. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to grab a little stem and very gently kind of bend it to see if it will bend. Oh, whoops. Well, let's try another one, because that may have been just one little dead branch. Let's try another one. Let's go down here and do this one. All right, let's kind of bend it up. Whoops. Nope. I'd say, y'all, this one is a dead plant, so let's put it back. Whether you're picking a deciduous or an evergreen plant, the next thing you want to look at is to make sure that it has a nice shape to the canopy and a nice branching structure. Now, for example, this is the deciduous, and it does have a really great branching structure, and it is alive. The next thing you want to do is to look at the top of the pot and check for any circling roots around the perimeter of the pot, or in this case, for a root that is going to be girdling a stem. You want to pass this pot over, because that root right there, as that plant grows, is going to eventually strangle and cut off growth to this trunk. Another thing you might want to try is to very gently remove the plant from the pot. Now, if you feel hesitant about doing this, maybe you ought to ask the nurseryman that if he could do it for you before you do this. So what you do, you very gently kind of rock it back and forth and then lift it out of the pot. What you want to be looking for are any roots that might be circling this root ball or might be circling around the base of the plant. That's an indication of the plant being root bound or pot bound. That's not a good thing. Next, you want to look for roots, what the roots look like. This one looks good. It's light tan, it's firm, it's fleshy, it's not dark colored or slimy, which could indicate some root disease problems. So this plant has a pretty good root system, so this is probably a pretty good choice. As you're making your plant selection, if you got any questions, be sure and ask your nurseryman or garden center professional, because they can answer most of your questions. And be sure and ask them if there are any guarantees about replacing the plant should something happen to it once you get it home and in the ground. I'm Lelia Kelly, and this has been Gardening Through the Seasons.